smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago.
Clear out the path, finna let loose my wrath. Half past Holocaust, full moon is out, so I'm flipping my blazing, y'all. Leaves crackling, housing the wind, grin up on my face. These thoughts off in my mind, time brings about another murder case. That might make them stains, split them brains. Can't limping, I ain't tripping, I'm just psycho. If you drop your guard, I'll kill you, feel me. Slowly as I grip the endo, smoke my yawty, calling my name. Hollering out premeditated murder, but yo, who's to blame? Hidden wisdom, me, it be another day at the office, fool. Man, look, you know you can't get out, so step up on me, dude. My click just thick, you tricks, dick, but still you just no fucking thing. Trying to catch me slipping with no design, but I got my shine. All you buster boys on my nuts, that better make me wait. Dead in the grave where you fall when I start to spray. I lay niggas up on they business, thinking they can test this beat. Running up, I give a weak ass nigga one chance, then I'm blasting.
That being
Mask, and you know I'm full of fun. Smoking weed, chopping Jago. I'm reaching for my mask, and you know I'm full of fun.
and I was just waiting on spiritual protection. I called on my parents, was calling on my higher to higher selves, which turned out to be some fucked up shit. My Zendaya, this Cassandra Nunez or something, Christy Nunez. I'm trying to figure out what her name is, Lenora or something, her middle name. I want to know her full name so I can get rid of her. And she got a dad, a Kazembe, acting as my connection to my God self. They ousted out my dad and an Irish ancestor. Think of hers or theirs or mine. That was, always acting as my God. They got rid of that. I gotta get this shit out. I gotta do something about this evil shit. And I have they were setting it up after I drunk so that my enemies who sacrificed me act as my spirit guides and all that. You don't want no shit like that. I just don't know what's going on within. I was going to do a video, right before I posted the video last night. That's why I posted the warning that this Maria Paraffin or Cassandra Tavares or something was going to do something where she was going to harm the rest of my spiritual protection and remove them from my soul consciousness and all of that and set me up to be pulled into Santa Muerte's realm. But the reason why I brought up the LAPD helicopter is because for some strange reason, I don't know if some sacrificed me going back to March or, May the 1st, 2024. But from what I understand, she's been dispatching spirits from her hell realm. You can use 125 hertz to free these people to come and, act as LAPD officers to snatch me up. And because I had no soul consciousness, again, I had Satan from the original timeline. I'm going to tell you the fucked up shit that's going on with that. You can use 694 hertz, 695 hertz to see. With that being said, I gotta get this wetback bitch out. I gotta do something about her. Her name, Satan's name is Shy Master, by the way. You just pulled them out of my consciousness. Just now I feel the Illuminati. There's a reason why I'm putting his real name out there. It's to help him out because something happened that's real fucking foul. With this situation is the reason why I put, Baron Samedi's real name out there. With that being said, because I was so exposed, I felt like I was down to my skeleton. I just felt some, it didn't feel like a real earthquake. It felt like it was something coming from within. But anyways, I felt when the LAPD helicopter passed by, I felt like something was about to pull my soul out. With that being said, this is some horrible shit. I tried, calling on my parents, Napoleon and Linda Williams, for help early this morning, spiritual help. You can feel it when you get pulled out of your soul consciousness. That could kill you. That's like losing all your blood or your consciousness. With that being said, in the middle of the night, I felt the Illuminati sucking, Satan. Shy masked out my conscience. I didn't want to reveal that name, but I have to because of what's going on to help him out. With that being said, in the middle of the night, I have, everybody has entity attachments connecting them to Satan and all of that. I got connection to the real one, as well as the real Arscoisha. Everybody else is just through your ancestors and all of that. With that being said, from what I saw in the spirit plane, it's some of the most foul-ass, repugnant shit you can imagine. I felt it. I felt when his soul consciousness got destroyed and everything else. I'm being told somebody might try to pull him out or something by mentioning that, all I'm just trying to do is get help, maliciously, so I gotta watch out. I may say in the future video what you can use on that motherfucker to defeat him. If I have any problems, and I know who it is. With that being said, they did something foul where in the middle of the night, look, I got set up to be a sacrifice going back to August the 22nd, 2022, and now with this wetbag bitch, Maria Tavares, Paraffin, Cassandra Nunez. I'm trying to find out what her real name is. Christy. Her lower self name, the reader, Maria Blanco. I'm trying to find out what her name is. You can call them at 323. Anyway, I posted the number at the beginning. With that being said, from what I understand, you know, I have no good spiritual protection. I had my own fucking spirit team. I don't want to say their names just yet, but it's the Swedish past life that came out and made a deal stating that Zendaya is to get all of my spiritual powers, and that Zendaya Coleman, going back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline, so I feel like literally out of breath and with little life in me. You know, you can use 446 hertz to get your stuff back. I started doing that, but with something like that, you know, dangerous in my consciousness, you know, Cassandra Nunez, I was afraid to do anything. You know, 295 hertz can get your stuff back. You know, I could feel something in my consciousness trying to, you know, clip my ties to it. You know, so I got to eradicate this bitch. I got to, you know, I saw she's like my father, connection to God and all of that. Saw she's still very physical in that March the 1st, 2024 timeline. She an old wetback bitch. She thriving. She worth, I think, damn near $1 million. Was on Univision telenovelas. Still has that shop at 8704 Broadway by 87 and Broadway, doing tarot readings and all of that. You know, there's too much, you know, I talk about it every single day. I saw the Grim Reaper's reflection in my cell phone. Too much evidence that I died. Anyways, the worst thing is she's working with the Illuminati. You can use 1248 hertz. There's another frequency you can use to fuck them up. But they get very, very tricky, and that's the problem. I'm going to drop their docs. Amstel Rothschild, his timeline started there. And the other one, Adam Weishaupt, who's the one that started it, he's the one that started the Enlightenment thing, has led to the Illuminati. And, you know, there's a lot of shit with that, deals and all that. He's the one that is the starting timelines for him. And I believe that, you know, they're, I know with Cassandra Nunez, it's Casamigos. I know for with that said, I think there's this Blanche Maison or some shit like that, or Piedmont de Vaudeville. You know, I'm trying to figure out the timelines for these motherfuckers. But this is very, very crucial. They stole my bath from me. You can use 295 hertz. They stole a lot of the powers from it, 1714, 1715 hertz. They're going to use trickery. You know, you can use 1150 hertz to find anything in the astral plane. You know, there's the frequencies, 11, you know. 13 hertz, 400 hertz. You know, there's frequencies that you know, the problem with them is they're protected by the demiurge. You know, you got to get under Anubis and Ra and them. I think something was showing me that Saint actually had to make an oath to them to get protection from them, the demiurge, the Illuminati. They don't report to them, but they under them. They're under the Egyptian gods. You know, I'm supposed to be related to Isis through my dad. I can feel this wetback bitch ruthlessly in my consciousness, tearing it apart, trying to remove inner voices and all of that. And there's nothing that can stop this motherfucker. So with that being said, they took out Sane, they took out his soul consciousness, I think. They fucked him up really, really, really bad, and they might try to do something to set it up so that he gets fucked up. They removed him for caping for me, for trying to defend me as best as he could. Extricated him. Artist Felicia. That's the most foul shit talking about. You're not able to give me my shit, man. Just put me back together, you know. Do it. Don't do it while I'm fucking awake, you know. Do it non-intrusively. You know, that's the thing. This shit insists on putting me back together where, you know, an intrusive thought can fuck them up, and you can't do that logically. You know, you try your best. Satan tried his best. He tried putting me back together and tried getting rid of that wetback bitch, and he was trying. He almost could. You say with that Illuminati and them using my bathroom, you know, it's a problem. I gotta get this wetback bitch back. That's what I'm saying. You know, the bitch actually physically came into my consciousness early this morning. You can use 694, 695 hertz to see your third eye. And could have got her ass and took care of her. I gotta kill this motherfucker off. I'm gonna tell you something. In her situation, I've been sacrificed before. That's all a problem. But she's the worst of it. You know, you don't want to be sacrificed, period. But with her, in all timelines, from what I understand, it's straight for the jugular, straight kill. Take everything that you got, steal everything that you got on you. You know, like I say, I don't think I'm fully in the world of the living. Going back to May the 1st, 2024, she's about keeping me out of certain timelines, 2 timelines associated with that, that when I connect with them, I feel alive. You know, I've been feeling transparent and seeing weird shit, as I've been saying in videos, seeing white superimposed on people's face, you know, seeing people simultaneously awake in the spirit plane, in the physical, you know, while their bodies are asleep in the astral, like kids, all of that nodding off, and, you know, and like normal. And that's not fentanyl. Yeah, I know that many people can't be on fentanyl. I see it all the time. I just, you know, like right now, my spirit team ain't shit. Wish I had a spirit team that cared, would combat the shit. I play the frequency, they come in, you know, use the frankincense and myrrh. With that being said, a couple of days ago, they fucked up Baron Samedi. Put him in Santa Muerte's body realm and all of that. And there's these people down here called, they got a woman that works there called something Flowers, Catherine's Flowers, who's Santa Muerte. She herself is involved. Higher selves and all of that. I heard that she sold me or something. I can show you. I got shit using intrusive thoughts to tear up my consciousness right now and to try to tear Satan out. But with that being said, they did something. You know, they holding my parents hostage in the spirit plane and all that. Keep smelling weird fucking smells. I kept smelling like fucking dead meat or something, rotten meat. You know, my Baphomet tried to fix everything up and get me away from them evil ass motherfuckers. Then my timeline's going back to March, May the 1st, 2024. They're taking up too much of my consciousness. So what they did was, you know, where they tried to, let me see this right now. The situation with this wetback bitch is very, very crucial. This motherfucker is straight up trying to kill me off. I saw in the spirit plane she's trying to go for the jugular. But anyways, my parents were putting back my connection to God, and all of that, themselves, my ancestors, removing Zendayas and Madonna Cicciones and all of that and all that other evil shit that had got placed into me, and that was energy vampiring off of me. Anyways, with that being said, like I said, they keep, removing my connections to my archangels and all of that. Mansa Musa is one of my ancestors. You can use 694, 695 hertz, 1714, 1715 hertz. He's helped me before in the past. Anubis, Isis, Ra. With that being said, because my energy is all fucked up, they were like, we don't deem you to be worthy of being He-Kate, so I had that honor stolen by me from the demiurge. I got put under the demiurge, whom the Illuminati is directly under. And, you need to be under the God of Light to surpass that, bypass that evil shit. So anyways, he set it up for me to stay a sacrifice and for me to stay under heavy curses. And took all my spiritual powers, really. They took my entity attachment, connecting my mother to Isis, and stole that and gave it to, Zendaya's He-Kate. And at first they had my grandmother Dorothy as a sacrifice. And that got altered. So with that being said, I had all my powers. Again, you can use 446 hertz to get stuff back, 1714, 1715 hertz. Bitch, it's all in my consciousness right now. This Cassandra Nunez and fucking with it bad. Point where I can't tell what the fuck is going on. I can't tell who's my spirit guides, like early this morning, who's my parents, who's helping me out. Ooh. So I woke up in the middle of the night feeling extremely deflated and noticing that they killed off Satan, who was helping me out. Again, his name is Shy Master, and they took him out the spirit plane. I believe you can use 1171 hertz to, pull somebody back. In 1934 hertz, pull somebody out. And I heard somebody very malevolently who's watching, plans on doing something very fucked up. Just in case, you could just call on Shy Master. But I felt them take him out or something and try to fuck him up, the Illuminati. You can use 1248 hertz, again, to defeat him. 2160 hertz is another one. You know, this wetback bitch and them evil motherfuckers, going back to that timeline, keeps trying to use all sorts of methods to remove me away. From abatement, from spiritual abatement. You know, I can't even play, you know, when I was calling on higher selves early this morning, I got her. Madonna, Cicione, Zendaya Coleman, Marie, Claire, Marie Stormer. That's why I'm putting all this shit here. For some strange reason, this is getting blocked. If I tell people about it, if I show what's going on in the spirit plane. So I gotta figure out what the fuck is going on. With that being said, early this morning, I was trying to reach out to Saint. They did somewhere. I think they took him out, spirit plane, or they took him somewhere, the Illuminati, to destroy him off, to kill him off. You know, like in the past, I'm going to say something. If I made a mistake or something, I would have a spirit team that would, you know, hold it up. I don't have that anymore. But I had my parents come in, and she was removing entity attachments, connecting them to that timeline, connecting them to my soul consciousness, as well as took out a road spirit connected with it. And, you know, they were fucking with my Archangel Michael. She uses, I believe they're not supposed to do that in the spirit plane, her Archangel Michael. And she was going to try to put it on mine. He was actually from Michigan right before he died. He was a gay white man with dark hair. He looked like Sub-Zero. Her wetback ass Archangel Michael looked like Machete. But his name is Raul Vargas. And I believe he's named after her... her rapist daddy. Still trying, you know, I was told I got fucked up so bad I wouldn't be able to get, you know, a lot of my shit even through frequency, so I gotta figure out what's going on. Anyways, I tried putting myself back together. I tried getting my shit, you know, yesterday and all of that, but it's dangerous with something like that. So I'm gonna have to come up with a frequency to, you know, shut her ass down. Ooh. It's like I feel like I have no inner protection. And that's scary. I feel her moving around in my soul consciousness. That's the thing, fucking with entity attachments, moving them out, trying to pull me out of my consciousness. You know, I heard that her thing is to kill me off, so you know, take me straight to Santa Muerte's hell realm to have me as a sacrifice. I heard that went back over there, you know, turn me in, you know, for walking shirtless or something, topless. I got drunk last week, which ain't, you know, I heard these people in this timeline are very fucking different. Very different. They, you know, reptilian minded. They don't really think. They don't think for themselves. You know, even the so-called deep thinkers, it ain't that deep. They can't see. It's like they got bricks, you know, for brains. They can't see past their nose. And that's the thing in which I get with them. With that being said, early this morning, you know, one of them road spirits tried to help, you know, Satan get back up. And he got shut down. And then, you know, it started getting confusing when I tried to converse with him, because she took over a lot of their soul consciousness, but not to the point, you know, of extremity yet. So I called on my higher selves, and I ain't dealing with them turncoats. But that's the saddest thing to see. You see that happen to Saint. I actually felt it. Soul consciousness felt different. She, I think, took it over. I was allowed to. As well as in dying, all of them. I don't know Santa Muerte did, but I know she did. She took over his soul consciousness. I felt it. I was using it to fuck with me, torture me, kill me off, for the Illuminati, working under the demiurge. You know, I had my connection removed to God, you know, since last week, so I can't even call on God, because that's going to come all fucked up, and she might fuck with entity attachments connecting me to him, really connecting me to him. You know, they place and die over me as my heat kate or something. You know, keeping me under, like, severe fucking curses. And at one point, I had the Illuminati in charge of my consciousness, I believe. You know, going back to that timeline where they sacrificed me, my brother Kristen and all that. You know, they got permission to sacrifice me through that Ashley Terrell or something. I don't like that shit with all my enemies feeding off of me, and, you know, now this where that bitch comes in, taking over with that Catherine's Flowers right on the corner, by, I think, Burning the Main or something. I keep feeling a big brick wall whenever I say that. taking a lot of my shit. But it's her. You know, I got 5 of Cups lost. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put this together. I don't like that shit somebody taking. I don't even want to say God-given, but something that you were naturally born with that belongs to you, and using that to fuel themselves and to make themselves more powerful. That's the most fucked up thing you can imagine. That's Ashley Terrell and Renee Wellinger. Evil ass shit. Blocking my spirits and all of that, like she did my parents. She blocked them from being able to get back into my soul consciousness. And my spirits, road spirits included Anubis, Isis, Ra, Shy Master. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Get this evil ass wetback bitch out of my soul consciousness and get my soul consciousness back fully. With that being said, in the obstacle position, we got the 5 of Swords. With that being said, I feel like you're fighting a major fucking battle that's coming to a zenith, coming to possibly an end. It's an uphill battle that I believe you will win. 9 of Wands is the current position. You are in a position where you're severely wounded. Right, you're in a bad place. 8 of Wands. My boy, the devil. 8 of Wands. You're going in a position where it's going to be propitious, but you're going to be fighting like, you know, you're going to be in your power and energy. You're not going to be playing no shit. 6 of Cups is the subconscious. And you're in a place where you're trying to fight. Become more powerful. You're trying to take your power back. 446 Hertz is a power retrieval. 7 of Swords. You're stuck in a very bad place. That's very negative. Very negative place. You're in a place where you have somebody that's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, and like, oh my God, they can't do it. 8 of Swords is the advice card. Something is telling you, make sure to be analytical, see past the bowl before you pull yourself out. 3 of Cups. This bitch talking in my consciousness. I'm hearing her say on the top of my frontal lobe. There was something crucial I wanted to say. There was some crucial I wanted to say that she just made me forget. Change this shit. I totally forgot. Background music. I'm trying to remember something that's very important. When that bitch came with Santa Muerte, I ready to start taking from me. I understand keeping me out my body or something. I'll say something right now. You know, you gotta do something. I saw in the spirit plane, you know, that she's still very physical. And she still exists in that May 1st, 2024 timeline. You know, I saw that. And I saw the other day with somebody like her, you gotta kill that motherfucker off. That's what I wanted to say. Still very physical. Otherwise, she gonna still keep attacking. So the energy that's around you, Three of Cups, people are feeding off of you. And they're using you to take a lot from you. Queen of Wands. Your fears and your hopes card. I feel that you're in an energy where you're going towards the jugular. You know, you're going to be going for the prize. The Magician is the outcome. I see a very happy outcome. And you're going to get all you wanted. With that being said, if you want a more personalized reading, please contact me at ravenbyterror22@yahoo.com. Peace.